Hello and welcome back to Hunt Hill at Home. It is a beautiful and sunny day here at Hunt Hill, and it's actually almost too sunny because it's so bright I can barely see my camera and what I'm doing. But that's all right because I wanted to be outside for this wonderful weekend craft that we've got for you on our last day of Earth Week. Now, even though it's the last day of Earth Week, I hope that some of the things you've learned you'll be able to continue on when it's not Earth Week, and this can be your Earth year. Today we are going to be making egg carton flowers, and they'll turn out something like this. And so the materials that you're going to need today will be some egg cartons, some scissors, a button, a pipe cleaner, or you can also just use thread or yarn. Pipe cleaners are nice because they're easy to thread through a button. And something to color it with if you want to color it. I brought paint, but you can use markers, you can use all sorts of other things as well. So, you ready for the joke of the day before we begin? So, since this is about egg cartons, it's going to be egg-themed joke. What is an egg's least favorite day of the week? Friday! I actually had to fry up some eggs to have one of these cartons available for me today because I prepared a whole bunch of these little egg carton flower kits for people to take home. So if you live in the local area, you can stop by Hunt Hill throughout the whole weekend. I made 20 kits and they are on the porch of the farmhouse. And you can pick one up. You don't have to come in contact with anyone to pick one up. And it'll contain everything that you need to make it except for your scissors and any colors that you want to add. So let's get started. How do we make this egg carton flower? First, you're going to need your egg carton, and you can take off this top lid part. We don't need this for this project. You can make lots of other projects with the top part, but we're going to be using these bottom cups here. So I'm just going to gently tear it off and set that aside. And I also don't need this little part that locks on the top, so I'll pull that off too. The nice thing about egg cartons is they're made out of recycled paper, so they're really easy to tear and manipulate as you please. Now, what we're going to be using for the actual base of the flower is this inside part between all of the eggs. You're not going to be using these egg cups, you'll use the inside part. So I'm going to start by cutting. Let me set some paint here so my newspaper doesn't fly off. Alright, I'm going to start cutting down the side of this cup and all the way straight across. So it looks like that. So I'm really trying to cut out this center piece. Then I will cut again. So my centerpiece is cut out and sticking up kind of like a witch's hat. I'm going to cut out a couple more for my project. One. And here's another one. All right, so I have 3 of these little points here. They're going to be helping me to be the center of my flower. Now I've got some kind of extra bits hanging off the ends here. So I'm going to make this symmetrical on all sides by cutting off this part and this part now. And I'll repeat that for the other two. Now these little bits that you've got left over, you can stick these right into your compost bin. They are too small to recycle. These bigger parts you could recycle, but the littler parts you should compost. So now you're going to have something like this. If you flip it over, it already kind of looks like a flower. It's like a lily. So what you're going to do next is you're going to cut down the sides on the line. And you're going to leave a little bit of space at the very bottom because that's where we're going to connect all of the flowers together. So I'm cutting down the line, cut down the line, cut down the line, and cut down the line. So now you can actually pull apart your petals and you can see the flower a little more clearly. Now I'm going to repeat this for my other two bits of flowers. There's one, and here's one more. Okay, so now I've got all three of my flowers. And if you're a perfectionist and you want these to look really, really nice, you can cut along the outside just to kind of round out all of these petals so they look nice and tidy. Now this is a great project for you to do now because we have May Day coming up soon. And if you want to make a little present for someone special in your life to drop off on their porch, these are great little gifts that you can make that people would really feel would brighten their day. All right, so I fixed that one. I'm going to fix this one. Don't worry about it too much though. When you're trimming these off, no flower is perfect. They all have little differences, and that is what makes flowers so great. Okay. And one more flower. So, once you have all of your flowers cut out, the next step is to color them. So you can color them whatever color you want. Flowers can be anything that you want them to be. I did this flower in yellow, and I've got some yellow here. But I'm not going to make you watch me paint something for 10 minutes. So I'm going to skip that step and go to our next step, which is putting the bead on. Now you have two different options at this point. You could have each one of these be an individual flower, but they look kind of wimpy and they don't have a whole lot of petals with just one. So I like to stack them up, and I'll stack 3 or 4. So they look like a nice thick flower. And what's going to hold them all together is going to be your button. You might have a button that has a loop in the back like this, or you might also have a button that has holes in the front. I'm going to show the loop one, but you can do either one. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick your pipe cleaner straight through the holes of your button and thread it through. And then you can kind of twist it on so the button's not going to come loose. Once you've got your button all set, the last step is to poke this side of your pipe cleaner, which is a little bit sharp, through the very center of all of your flowers. So I'm going to do it one flower part at a time, just to make sure I get it right through there. If it's not poking through well, you can also use a pencil to help you out. So I've got one on. Here's two. And then three. There we go. And you can situate your stems however you want, and then push it until the button is right in the very center. Now, this little bit might be a little bit hard to get through. Once you get it through, though, it should be okay. A petal fell out. That's okay. So, now you want to adjust your petals so they look nice. And then you have a flower. I'll glue this petal back on later. I hope you enjoyed making a flower with me, and if you didn't get a chance to make a flower already, please feel free to come and pick up your own kit at Hunt Hill. We love to see people coming out, picking up kits and hiking. We also have some seed kits left over from a couple weeks ago, and we have some posters on the porch that are free to take. They're extras that we have multiples of. Also, if you're enjoying watching Hunt Hill at home, please consider supporting Hunt Hill in whatever way you can. These programs are able to go on because of donations from viewers like you. And you can donate straight through Hunt Hill, the Facebook page. There's a little blue donation button, and that donation button gives 100% of the proceeds to us. Facebook does not take any of those proceeds. And it is as safe as donating through any other website service. If you have any questions on how to make your flowers, feel free to contact me. I'd love to hear how they go and send pictures of how yours turn out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye!